Hello, everybody, and welcome to Cracking the Spiritual Code. I'm Randi Sands, and I'm very happy to let you know that a good friend and associate of mine, Colleen Irwin, is joining us this evening, and we're going to be talking about protection, how to protect yourself. So, Colleen, thank you for joining us.
You're very welcome.
Thank you. It's an honor to have you. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open up the floor to Colleen.
So one of the biggest questions people ask when they first start opening up to spirit is, how do I protect myself? How do I protect myself from bad things happening? And the way I was trained was to be fearless. And so that meant that I had to connect with my guides and be really knowledgeable of them and trust that they will keep me safe and that I only open up for the highest and best and good. So I don't have to worry about being afraid of doing the spiritual work because I'm always protected. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't come into contact with people that have less than good intentions. Okay? We call these people psychic vampires, and they take your energy. And that's what you need to protect yourself against. And one of the things that I find very frustrating is that people try and sell stones or crystals or medallions or things to protect them that isn't necessarily necessary. It's a good idea sometimes, but it's not really necessary if you do the right work up front and have your guides there to help you.
Well, you know, that's interesting because this is what I tell people. Somebody is selling you something for $50, let's say a necklace, and it's for protection. What makes that necklace such a marvelous protector?
Exactly.
Who says that that necklace is a marvelous protector other than the person selling it? With that said, let me say this. And Colleen can attest to this. We were with Lisa Williams once, and we were doing an exercise, and my medicine bag used to have beading that was very extravagant, that was made with Herkimer diamonds and labradorite. I got up to do the exercise, and it exploded. There were Herkimer diamonds and labradorite all over the room. Am I lying?
Nope, they were everywhere. In fact, I came across one 3 weeks later in another class. There was a little Herkimer diamond speck, and I went, oh.
See? And I stood there, and Lisa turned to me and said, "You don't need it anymore. It was a crutch." She was 100% right. Now, with us telling you this, let me also say that if you feel that having that piece of labradorite or whatever it is makes you stronger, do it. When you don't need it anymore, you'll know. I don't need it anymore. I just happen to like this particular piece, so I wear it. But I don't need it. I can work just as well with it as I can without it.
Absolutely. And I think that that's one of the things that everyone needs to understand is that they don't need expensive tools.
And let me tell you all this. Since we're talking about protection, I don't do anything for protection. And I'm going to tell you why. Because in my mind, if I'm doing God's work and I'm helping people heal and what have you, then I'm already protected. With that said, I will start off an opening prayer that only beings of light are allowed to enter, and that any beings that are not of light are banished. I was taught to do that, and what it is it's setting my intention to not allow a negative spirit to enter that area. But the biggest problem is, like Colleen said, it's energy vampires. What happens, and Colleen can attest to this with me, and I can attest to it with her. Let us walk around Lilydale, and people will come up to us, and everybody will want to talk to us. We're only one person. We have to have some downtime too. But it's not that they're trying to be rude. They have questions, and that's why it's always been hard for me to say no, or I don't have time, or come back later, or whatever, because I know that they have questions and I want to help them. But at the same point in time, we have to have self-care too. Otherwise, our abilities get affected.
Absolutely.
So be mindful of that if you're the person asking the questions, and or if you're the person that the questions are being asked to, because you have to have boundaries.
And that's very hard to set those boundaries with people because you want to help. But I had to learn very early on that no is a complete sentence.
Yes, and for me that was much more difficult because, well, I can tell anybody no in any other aspect of life. When it comes to spiritual things, I have a hard time saying no, because I feel that in some way it's also my responsibility to help the next person progress. I still feel that way. However, today I set boundaries.
And we will talk more about boundaries.
Yes, we will in another video.
And this is just a topic about protection so that people understood that it's not necessarily necessary if you go about your spiritual practice in a specific way. And that's
correct. If you set your intention.
Right. And it is all about intention. And anybody that tells you that a item is the only way to protect yourself, please question it because it's your intention. It's purely your intention.
Or please turn around and run the other way.
Okay, I was trying to be nice.
Yes, I'm not going to be as nice, because if somebody is trying, let me explain something to you. 1,000 roads will lead to the same place. So how can somebody tell you that one way is the only way? I work differently than Colleen works. I work differently than Lisa Williams, or a John White, or whatever. We all work differently. There's 1,000 roads that lead to one destination. So don't let anybody ever tell you that there's only one right way. Do you have anything you'd like to add?
No, I think we've covered this pretty good. We will definitely, in our development circle that you're going to talk about next, practice ways to protect yourself a little bit and connect with your guides, because that's all you really need is a good connection with your guides.
So I want you guys all to notice that Colleen's like, yeah, no, I'm good. You already told them to run as fast as they can the other way.
We enjoy having time together. What can I say?
All right, guys. I hope you guys found this helpful. If you have any more questions, please go to crackingthespiritualcode.com and ask us to expand on them. Also, if you have any topics you'd like us to touch on, we'd be happy to. Also, what you'll find on the website is there's an online store where you'll see some of the things that I do. Um, this was an eagle with feathers. I've got a wizard, I've got an Indian headdress, I've got fairies, I've got all kinds of things. They'll be on there, as well as wallets, briefcases, so on and so forth. We do have an online development class coming up. I gave up my local one. We're going to be doing an online one because I've realized it's far more beneficial for you guys, and Colleen and I will be doing it together. The reason it's beneficial is because when you have a circle, you get the same 10, 20 people all the time. People get to know each other, and then when you're doing practice, you're not getting what I call clean readings because you know too much about each other. So with this, you'll be able to come in and you may get paired with somebody from Australia or Kentucky or New York or New Zealand. They could be from anywhere. So what makes that nice is it keeps the practice clean because you don't know anything about each other. So it'll be a half hour of talk on the topic. It'll be a quick meditation and pray in, and you guys will get a solid 40 minutes of practice with different partners. So that is what's the most important because, like anything else, this is a muscle. The more you work it, the stronger it gets. I believe that classes start February 7th. Will be a non-paid class where we invite you in and we make sure that all the bugs and kinks are worked out. We'll have Valentine's Day off, and then the 21st is when we start officially. We will also have a book club. The first book on our agenda is this one. So You Want to Be a Medium by Rose Van den Ender, which is a phenomenal book. And we will be going through a chapter a week. The reason we're going to do this is because it will allow us to peel back all the layers of the onion to get deep in each chapter so that you guys get the most out of it. And for us, it just refreshes our memory. So that's always a great thing, to have your memory refreshed. You can't remember everything. I'm not sure the start date on that one. It'll be right around the same time as the class starts. You'll be able to find that all on the internet. Again, it's crackingthespiritualcode.com. Thank you guys for joining us. I hope you got a lot out of this. Again, let us know your topics, and we look forward to seeing you again next time. Have a great day.